Hey beautiful souls, David Essery here. So yesterday I went out to film a video out in the wild again, to take you guys for a walk and a talk. And I had the most amazing time doing it, and I've got a video of it all, which I'm going to feed into in a minute. But the first 5 or so minutes of that video, the wind was so bad, the voice kept on cutting out completely, and the intro isn't really usable. So I just wanted to record this quick introduction here to explain what the video is about, where I was and stuff like that. And then I'm going to pass you over to the rest of that video and you can follow my walk and talk. So I went out to a beautiful spot just outside the village of Burley in the New Forest. Absolutely gorgeous out there, and the weather was lovely. The sun was shining as it was setting. And I wanted to create a video to really expand upon what I talked about last week, about stepping onto our path, and in particular leaps of faith, which is such an important part of that. I was thinking about things more since creating that video and other things that I could have said. So I thought, why not do another part and just delve a little bit deeper with it. I also said, which unfortunately was lost, but I just took a moment to thank you beautiful people for all of the incredible feedback that I got on that video. Your words really touched me, and I'm so truly grateful for all of your beautiful comments. To everyone that watched it, for everyone that liked it, it meant the world to me, and I'm so pleased that video was able to help you guys. With that being said, I'm going to pass you over to yesterday me to take you guys on a little journey. I do hope you enjoy. Sending you so much love. Bye-bye.
So, yeah, I kind of wanted to carry on from where I left off the other day, because there's so much I could have said about taking the leaps, you know, and about me and about my journey and my situation. And I'm so grateful that that video helped some of you guys, you know, that it resonated with you, and that not necessarily that you've been through the similar experiences, but that, you know, my story was able to support you guys in creating your own stories. And, you know, I talked a lot about leaps of faith. And, you know, the main thing with a leap of faith, it's getting muddy here, this is really interesting. The main thing with a leap of faith is, so the whole idea, right, is that you're standing at the edge of the cliff, and you're essentially being encouraged to jump off of that cliff. As mental and as crazy as that sounds. And the idea is that you leap off of the cliff because you trust that someone is there to catch you. Really, you know, in these situations, we're talking about God or angels or whoever it is, that they're going to be there to catch you. And that's where we end up in these situations in our lives, where essentially we feel guided to do something, the next step in our path. And we know that by doing this, we're taking a risk, essentially. We are risking our own, I don't know, welfare, our income, whatever it is. And we are trusting in God, and we are taking that leap, trusting that they will catch us. And that is a big thing. That is not to be underestimated. And I actually almost feel a little bit like the intensity of this journey and the frequency in which that we are being asked to take these leaps almost undermines it a little bit. Because it's huge. That is absolutely huge. You know, making a decision, and yeah, this is an extreme example of it, you know, like quitting your job, for instance, to follow your path is an extreme example, and that's one of the biggest leaps of faith that any of us will ever take in our life. There's lots of smaller things like that may happen as well. It may even just be going to an event, or I don't know, saying yes to something could be absolutely be a leap of faith. But these are monumental things, and you know, we've been asked to kind of do these over and over again. And really, what a leap of faith comes down to. So, you know, we could be in a position, say we're stepping out onto our path, we're quitting our day job, and we are going to follow our passion and make a business out of that for a living. Now, in all honesty, what it comes down to, ooh, I'm about to disappear into a bog. This could be funny. I'm really putting my wellies to the test here. Let's see what happens. Let's see this. Let's wade into the water and see what happens. Forgive my meandering journey. Yes, we made it. And back on with the show. So, if it boils down to, are we ready? And if you are ready, if you, say for instance, knew that you were going to do a job and start this business, and you already had 100 people lined up saying, yes, I want to do this, I'm going to pay you money, you're going to do this, and it's like, you know, one job finishes and the next job starts, and it's like nothing ever happened. That wouldn't be a leap of faith, really, because you don't have to trust in anything. Because you know what to do is, you know you're safe and you know you're secure. It's a beautiful spot. Take you with me as we go to the bridge here. No, and everything will be okay. You're ready. You do the thing, and you get on with your life. The reason why it's a leap of faith is because you don't know what's going to happen. You're not necessarily ready to do it. And this is where I want to talk about my own journey a little bit. Because I said in my video the other day that things began really with me creating that bit of artwork, Sitting Wild. And that eventually led to me doing more artwork, to doing my shackle cards, and then to doing my first workshop with Tim on the Lions Gate. But there's been countless more leap of faith along that journey. And the biggest of which for me was, in fact, making that decision, making that commitment to give up my day job and pursue this path. Bear with me, I'm still walking through very muddy terrain again. It's much more challenging than last time. So I made that decision, funnily enough, on the Lions Gate. I was, so the day job, as I call it, I was running my own freelance website company, working from home. And doing that was a little bit of a leap of faith in its own right. I used to work for a marketing agency, and honestly, just dreading getting up out of bed every Monday morning and going to that office, such a 3D environment, the people, the places, the clients, working for companies that I couldn't always necessarily agree with. It was all like that, but when you work for a company, you don't really have a choice about who you work for. It is what it is. And the whole office life, people-y thing wasn't for me. And I think the universe had been screaming at me for quite a long time to do something about it. And my wife, Leanne, probably screaming at me a little bit louder. But and for that I will forever be grateful, because she knew. Leanne is, woo! Okay, I bet that was entertaining on camera. My microphone just caught a branch as I was walking past it and flipped us round. Let's see if we can get this sorted out. Hey, there we go. Sorry about that. It's all kicking off today. So, where was I? Yeah, my wife incredibly gifted, highly intuitive, and she just knows things. She's, I would say, a truth seer. Leanne has incredibly powerful vision, and she just knows things. She can see a person, she knows things. She sees a situation, she knows things. She's always right. Of course, every husband says that about their wife, but Leanne really is always right. And she knew that it wasn't right for me, and she, bless her heart, encouraged me to do it. And it built to a point. It wasn't like a simple decision, let's just go and do it. But you know what? The story's coming back to me the more I talk about this, actually. We were sat on the sofa, I think, one Sunday afternoon, and in truth, I was in tears. I was so desperate to get back. And Leanne was saying to me, just quick, just walk away. Let's do this ourselves. I was always doing the odd bit of freelance on the side. I was already working with Tim, who's a freelance client at the time. And all of a sudden, in mid-conversation, possibly in mid-sentence, Leanne's voice just changed. Her demeanour changed. Everything changed. And all of a sudden, I was speaking to Melchizedek. Shudders just thinking about it. He just stepped into Leanne and just spoke through her. I honestly can't remember what he said. But that was that. And the decision was done. And I went into work and I took my boss aside into the meeting room, told him that I was handing in my notice. I was going to be going freelance. And he said to me, "Are you sure? Because we just got word we have to send everyone home in 15 minutes time because we're going into lockdown because of COVID." And I was like, "Oh, yes, I'm sure." And I did it. So I handed in my notice and I quit my safe, secure job on the day we first went down into lockdown. And I did that for a while, and I was still doing a little bit of the artwork and stuff aside. And I eventually started doing my own solo workshops for a couple of years of doing things. It was me and Tim doing stuff together on the Solstice and the Lionsgate. And eventually I worked up the nerve to do solo workshop. And this brings me back to that point. Are you ready? It's something that I wanted to do for a long time. It's something I wanted to do since the early days. Hey, doggo! Hey! Good friend. Hey! That's all right. No problem at all. It's beautiful.
Love people.
Sorry. Always distracted by a doggy. What was I saying? Yeah, so I'd always wanted to do my own solo workshops. And it was always one of those things. Everything on my path has always been one of those things where I always thought that one day it's almost like I'd wake up in the middle of the night and get some kind of incredible download, you know? A download of information, and like everything would unlock, and all of a sudden I would know, I would understand, I would know who I was, and I would be ready. You know, in that moment, I'd be gifted back my stuff and I'd be ready. Because you hear these incredible stories of people having Kundalini awakenings and all of that stuff. And I was just waiting and waiting for that so that I would be ready. And you know what? Unfortunately, I'm still waiting. I've been waiting for years to have that one pivotal moment where everything clicks and everything makes sense. And all of a sudden you're there and you're in your power and you can do your thing without fear, without worry, without concern. And you're ready. It's a beautiful location in the forest. Got lots of lovely locations to bring you to. This is just first of many. So, yeah, I waited and it never came. And eventually I got to the point where I thought, you know what, I've just got to do it. And I wasn't even prepared for it. At the time, we were living in a one-bedroom flat, didn't have decent lighting. My only desk was in our living room, so I didn't have an office. It wasn't very good. And when I look back, the early videos that I did, the sound quality is terrible, and the picture quality is terrible, the lighting's terrible. But despite all of that, I just had to do it. That's where I got to in my journey. I got to a point that I had to do it. I had to throw away this illusion of being ready, because the reality was it wasn't coming. At least not for me anyway. I don't want to be completely dismissive and say that the same is going to be the case for you and you're not going to have that big moment, because some people do. But it didn't for me. And I had to make that decision that no matter what, I was just going to take a chance. And I have to admit, back then it was easier. But I was still running the other business and things like that, the web design side of things. I was still doing all of that. So it was kind of more of a exploring my passion at that time. But it was still terrifying. It was still absolutely terrifying to put yourself out there in that way, to bear everything, especially, we live in a world where absolute faith is critical. We hear something, we see something, we feel something, and we just have to make the decision to trust that is real and share it with the world, and that other people will feel that and recognize its resonance and know it to be real too. Houses. Lost path. That looks like an interesting path. Let's walk down this way and see what happens. There may be a third part of this video of me standing in the middle of the forest yelling, "I'm lost. Someone please send help." We will see. And yeah, so I did it. I got out there and I ran a workshop on my own. Ooh, this is a pretty spot. Look at this. I hope you guys don't mind just walking and talking and letting my thoughts flow and whatever comes out. This feels like a really special little spot. Like I'm walking into something. I'm just going to check to see if I've got permission to come here. Yeah, we do, but we've got to tread lightly. Okay. Crouch down as we come through here. This beautiful, beautiful tree. Bit more neat than just losing the hat on a branch. Here we go. And onwards we go. So, and this became a theme. And I guess this is what I want to talk about really, this theme of, are you ready? And the short answer is, the chances are you're probably never going to be ready. And this, of course, following on from what we talked about last time about year of stepping into our power in 2025, where we take those steps forward to shine our light, to spread it with the world. Yeah, I'm crawling through a bush right now. Honestly, I feel like I'm in the outback or something. I thought there'd be a nice little path for me to meander through. Yeah, and we're all going to end up in situations over this next year where we're faced with an opportunity to shine our light, and we have to make a decision whether to trust in ourselves and take the leap. And we're probably not going to feel ready when we do that. We're probably not going to feel ready. Oh my God, do you see that? Oh my God, do you see the rainbow, people? Zoom in. Oh, isn't that so beautiful? This beautiful, beautiful valley is just shining like a pillar of rainbow off in the distance. My God. You probably can't see it. I think just the other side of that tree as well, we have a horsey. Let's go and explore a little bit more. Where was I? So, we're going to be put in these situations where we don't feel ready. And I guess this is the point of my video today, really, is just to say it's okay to not feel ready. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to not feel safe. It's okay. It's okay. You know what? It's just okay, no matter what it is that you feel and you experience. And it is absolutely okay if you're faced with this opportunity and you don't do it. You know, if you can't bring yourself to do it in that moment, because opportunity always comes round again. We are, you know, opportunities will be given to us a few times for us to have an opportunity to step forward. And it might be the first time you're not ready and you can't do it for whatever reason. It might be that, you know, the second time round, you're apprehensive, but you may have some kind of realization. Show you this beautiful tree that I'm standing at now. You know, and then it might be the third time this opportunity presents itself that you're finally ready and you take it. Whatever that is, however many times it takes, it's okay. This is your journey. This is nobody else's journey. There is no, you know, we've got free will, right? Even this entire ascension process, as it's planned out over a 20-year period and all of these different things, it's not a fixed thing, right? It's not like they've ordained that this has to happen on this date, and then this is going to flow into this, and this is going to flow into this. And when they do this, all the people are going to say yes. All 8 billion of us are going to be on board, and this is exactly going to happen. It's not like that, because every single one of us has free will. And therefore, it is up to us how we respond to these situations. And just like we will have these other opportunities for things, if we miss something, we'll just do it a little bit later. You know, it's okay. The most important thing is that we love ourselves throughout this process. I'm being watched by a little horsey. You see these guys? One of the most beautiful, beautiful things about the New Forest is that there's free roaming horses and cows all over the place. These beautiful friends. You know, the thing is that to really move forward, though, we have to, at some point, commit to that thing. Well, we don't have to. I'll take that back. We don't have to do anything. Again, it's free will. If we decide right now that you know what, this isn't for me, I want to spend the rest of my life on the couch eating chips, you can do that, because it's your life. It's up to yours to do with it what you want. Sunset. It's your life to do with it what you will. But, you know, for our overall ascension, for trying to move things forward and all of that stuff, at some point we probably should make these decisions. We should make these stands. And that, you know, sometimes involves pushing ourselves a little bit. We can give these guys some space as we run them. Leave them be. Oh no, but they're ponies. At least these two at the front are ponies. New Forest ponies. They're beautiful. So, you know, one of the biggest moments I've had in my pathway, where I wasn't ready for something and I had to do it nonetheless. It was actually really my light worker ascension gatherings. I know a lot of you guys who follow me, you may have come to these. If you're not aware, perhaps you're new to the channel. Every month I run these free workshops called a light worker ascension gathering, where essentially we come together as a group and we decide on the night. Occasionally I get guided towards something a little bit before, but most of the time we decide there and then on the night what we're going to do. And then we do a meditation. We all focus our energy, focus our light and our love to achieve something. Whether that's, for us on a personal level, because we need a little bit of support at the time, whether that's for the collective, whether that's for the planet, whatever it is, we put our energy in to try and make things better, because that's what we're here to do. That's why we're on this path. And for me, doing this was one of the biggest leaps of faith, without a doubt. And I actually pushed myself into this one. Obviously, the main reason why I did this was because I wanted to help. I wanted to, I do this for a living, right? I don't, being completely transparent. This is my business. It's my livelihood. It's also my passion. It's my love. And in all honesty, if I could do it and all of my needs were met, I would happily, do it for the sake of doing it, because I love doing it. But the reality is we live in a world where we have bills to pay, we have food, we have healthcare costs, all of these different things. And I have to do it as a business, which means I have to advertise myself. I hate it. I'm good at it. I don't want it to distract from the message what I'm trying to do here, but there's the reality of what I do. And, so the Lightworker Ascension gatherings are a few things. They're about trying to be of service. They're about trying to do something good. They were about being able to do that without it having to have any kind of monetary association with it. It could just be free to be doing something good and pure. And lastly, it was about me pushing myself. It was about me taking it. Because typically, a lot of my workshops, they are channeled in advance. Now, the reality is, especially these days, that they all have elements that are, I don't like the word improvise. Let's say they're channeled in the moment, right? Because you're right there in the energy. You don't necessarily know what's going to happen. I don't want to try and bring that through in advance, because things shift because of the collective, because of our energies, what we're trying to do, free will and all of that. So there's elements that are always channeled in the moment. But the rest of it is channeled in advance. So I know what's going to be happening when I sit down for the most part. I wanted to be able to lead a meditation. I'm not sure if I'm in a river or in a bog or anything. That's why I have my watch. I wanted to be able to just in the moment lead a meditation without any preparation, without being ready. Right? That's what it came back down to again. I've waded right to the middle of something here. I think I wanted to be able to just lead a meditation on my own, purely intuitively, without any preparation. And you can't practice that, right? Well, I suppose, I did practice a little bit, I guess, because I started doing meditations on YouTube, on Facebook. But at least it was on my own, in my room. It wasn't live, so it didn't work out. I had a fallback, but they weren't scripted. Because when I first started this channel, first started doing meditations on my own, I channeled them in advance, and then kind of read them out. So I started shifting into that with my own videos, and I had the safety net that I was on the record button and I could delete it if I wanted to. But I wanted to be able to be purely in flow so that I could just work without a safety net, purely intuitively. And in truth, you know, I honestly feel like that's the best way to do any of this. Even when I have channeled something in advance, I tend to be quite loose with it because I want to be in flow with the energies. If quite often, you know, if you've joined my workshops, you may hear me say when we get to the end of it, I wasn't expecting something. That's because I just allow those things to flow as and when we are in the moment. And so I decided to essentially start running these workshops. Yeah, I'm going down at some point in this video. I decided to essentially start running these workshops where I literally wouldn't even know what we were doing until I got on live with you beautiful people and we had a conversation about what we wanted to do. And then we did it. And again, I'm not going to lie, the first one of those was terrifying. And the second one of those was terrifying. The third one was really, really scary. And I've just delivered my 8th one last week, which was absolutely beautiful, anchoring peace into this planet. Absolutely gorgeous. And we went into that one and I had an idea beforehand that that's what we were going to do. I had no idea what the actual was going to be. I'm going to start heading back towards a path, I think, because I'm truly lost at this point. And I am in deep, grassy something or other. So that was one of my leaps of faith. That was me pushing myself on my pathway to feel the fear and to do it anyway. Was I ready? No, I absolutely wasn't. Was I scared? Absolutely terrified. But I had to do it. I knew that that was the next step of my progression, that I needed to learn to trust my guides, you know, my team, Ascended Masters, the angels that I work with. Most importantly, I needed to learn to trust myself. And that doesn't come without actually just doing it. It's the only way to build that trust. And so that's it really. I've meandered around the subject quite a bit today, just as I've meandered around this area out here. Oh my God, look at this. Sorry, I'm just going to show you this. You can see these beautiful, beautiful horses. Beautiful white horses up here. Stunning. Yes, I've meandered around and I've got myself lost out here. And I'm going to have to try and find my way back to the car in a minute. But really, what I just wanted to say is, you know, as we move into this new year, we are pushed forward on our pathways and guided to step forward in ways that we haven't done so before. You may think to yourself, I'm not ready. And that is absolutely okay. Ooh, nearly went. But I guess what you can ask yourself in this situation, when you might not feel ready, sorry, tripping over thorns here, is yes, you may not be ready, but can you do it anyway? And if you're going to do that, don't expect too much of yourself, you know? Don't expect the first time you do it to be the most amazing time you've ever delivered it. Just like I look back upon my early workshops, cringe, the quality of the video, the sound. At the same time, I know that I did them to partners and enjoyed them. That's all that matters. And it was a stepping stone on my journey that's led me to where I am now. And as I prepare for 2025, I know my next major hurdle is putting myself out there more, get myself out of my comfort zone. Stop being stuck in a box like I have been today on several occasions. Put myself out there, connecting with more people, doing my thing, shining my light, coming out of the safety net that I've built for myself. Am I ready? I've been working towards it for quite some time. I've been trying to prepare myself for it. Am I ready? No. But I am absolutely determined. So that's what I'm going to do. And I hope that I can do this again. Maybe I'll come back to the same spot this time next year and I'll actually figure out where I'm supposed to be going. But just like life, we don't always know where we're meant to be going. Sometimes we just stumble around in the dark till eventually we find a path. And we walk upon that path and we trip over something on the floor. And we pick ourselves back up and we carry on marching forward. Occasionally on that march, we find stepping stones. We have to leap from one to the other. Just trust, if you find yourself in that situation, that if you are feeling guided to do so, that it is what you're meant to do. And that you will be caught. And sometimes you might not be caught right there and then. You know, you might take a leap of faith. And a month later, you might not have been caught. A year later, you might not have been caught. That does not mean you have been abandoned. You have been there. And I felt that. I did a soul geometry for someone the other day. And in the channeling, they said something really, really interesting. About good karma. The accruing of good karma. The amazing work this individual had been doing. And, you know, life perhaps hadn't been going as smoothly as this individual would hope, especially considering all the good that they do in this world. You know, not that we do good to receive good things back, but at the same time, you know, sometimes there's a human aspect of us that absolutely normally thinks it's perfectly acceptable to think, oh, I'm doing all this, you know, shouldn't I get a little bit of support in that? But what this message said was, yes, you are absolutely accruing good karma and it will return to you. But right now, this ascension process is of the utmost priority. Essentially meaning that, yeah, times are tough right now. But that doesn't mean you're not doing good work and that good work is not recognised and that you aren't going to receive, you know, recompense for the good work that you do. But the challenges right now are challenges because that's what we need, because they push us to, with that diamond, right, with the carbon right down in the centre of the earth, it's compressed and compressed and compressed until it comes to the most beautiful diamond, the hardest thing on our planet. That's us. That's us. And that's what's been happening to us throughout this process. We have been turned into diamonds. And once that process is complete, once the energy is flowing in a positive direction, we will receive that good karma back to us. Sending you so much love, guys. Thank you again for all of your love and support, your encouragement, for being here, for watching, for liking, for subscribing, for coming to our workshops, for purchasing artwork, bags, mugs, all of the things that you beautiful people do to support myself and Leanne through this journey. Words will never be able to express our gratitude to you. On that note, this weekend, of course, is the Solstice, Saturday night. Tim Wilde and I are coming together once again to celebrate these incredible energies, and there are some truly transformative shifts happening for this planet that we have an opportunity to be a part of, to add our energy to assist with, so that we can anchor this energy at the highest possible level and move this planet forward as far as we can. You know, by coming forward and adding our energy to this pool. Every single person that adds to it empowers it that much more, so it may take effect that much stronger. Tim and I coming together Saturday night to celebrate this, to lead this workshop, working with the Mundiform Keys deck again. And of course, on Friday night before that, I'll be working with Archangel Metatron for a pre-solstice light bath, where he's going to really help us to integrate these incredible solstice energies so we may bathe in the light, in the love, and receive its keys and its codes and its blessings at the highest possible frequency. It's going to be two glorious, glorious light-filled and beautiful days. And I cannot wait to share that with you guys. The sunset behind me to say goodbye. Thank you, beautiful people. Can't believe this video is 43 minutes again. I've meandered on. If anyone stayed till the end, I'm so truly grateful. I apologise for getting lost repeatedly and tripping and falling and all of that jazz. But I hope you've enjoyed the journey as much as I have. I love you guys so, so much. And I'll see you all again very, very soon. If you want to join today's events, all the info will be in the description. I love you guys. Bye-bye. I made it out, guys. I'm not lost. I shall live to film another day. Back to the car. I'll see you guys again very soon. Lots of love. Bye.